carding. Welcome to my blog stampwithelaine.com. Today I'm revisiting this little piggy, and we're going to be making this card with Miss Piggy all dressed up for a party. We're going to need this little piggy stamp set. I've got mine in clear mount, and I've also done a bit of surgery on my stamps. I've sort of cut the sentiment off the stamp so I can mix and match them. And also, if I need to ink it in a different colour, I can much more easily. I've used an E block to mount my stamp on. You need the layering circuit Thinlits dies, and I've used the largest of this set with the largest of the smaller circle set, so they nest within each other like so. We're using the new polka dot die. These are slightly smaller polka dots than the original that we had last year. I'm also cutting the word friends from the Lovely Words Thinlits die seam binding ribbon. We're using the Berry Burst Powder Pink and Tuxedo Black ink, Powder Pink and Berry Burst Stampin' Up markers, Daffodil Delight and Wild Wasabi markers as well, an aqua painter. I've got a powder pink card base measuring 8 1/4 by 5 7/8 inches. That's 21 centimeters by 14.9 centimeters. It's been scored at 4 1/8 on the long side. That's 10.5 centimeters and folded in half. Then I've got a Berry Burst layer which goes on top on the front. That measures 5 1/2 by 3 3/4, so that's 14 centimeters by 9.5 centimeters. And a whisper white layer for the inside, also cut at 5 1/2 by 3 3/4 inches, which is 14 centimeters by 9.5 centimeters. A scrap of powder pink to cut your friend word out with. Last but not least, our good friend the Big Shot. First, on a scrap of whisper white, we want to stamp the little pig in Tuxedo Memento black ink and stamp it sufficiently far in from the edge so that it's got room for this to die cut. I think I'll stamp that again because it's got a bit smudged. Bring in the Big Shot, make our sandwich as normal. Top cutting plate, if I can find it, and then run that through the Big Shot. And while we've got the Big Shot out, we also want to cut the scalloped frame and cut out the word friends in powder pink, so I'll do that at the same time. Pieces have been die cut and I just need to release that. I'll zoom in a bit closer, and we're going to ink, pick up some ink with a clear block from a powder pink ink pad, and I'll use my aqua painter to colour the little piggy in. And you don't want to use too much water because this is just standard whisper white paper, and can't withstand getting too wet. Then I'm going to use the Berry Burst marker and paint her trotters. The powder pink just to finish off her tail. Wild Wasabi for the stem of the flower and the leaf. Daffodil Delight for the flower. Berry Burst for the flower centre. And Wild Wasabi again for the grass. Then I'm going to stamp You Make Me Happy in powder pink. Glue that and layer it onto my scallop bit. Now I'm going to do the inside of the card and ink it up in Tuxedo Black, and I'm just going to stamp it on the bottom here. I've still got some pink left, so I'm just going to colour him in, her in, sorry. Can't have a him wearing a dress, can you? Paint her nails. Wild Wasabi stem. Daffodil Delight daisy. Berry burst flower centre. Tumbo glue on the back of that. Glue it to the inside of the card. Sandwich my berry burst cardstock in the polka dot embossing folder. Bring in my Big Shot platform. I don't need the thin die adapter, just the platform itself. Base cutting plate, the folder with the cardstock sandwich in between, top plate, and I'm ready to run that through the Big Shot. On the back of this embossed piece, adhere it to the front of the cardstock. Now tear and tapes just the width of the little piggy, and I'm going to cut it in, trim that off a little bit because it's too wide. And pop that round her waist. Just trim off the excess there. Now we're going to put her skirt on, so if you just cut it at a diagonal angle, and it's best to use a pair of sharp scissors that you perhaps only reserve for ribbon, because her skirt is too long, so I'm just going to cut off about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and I'm going to leave it like that for the moment. Take off the backing paper and then put it right on the end where her waist is, and using your nail sort of gather it. Might need a bit more. Now you've done the little skirt, you need to put dimensionals on the back. Pop that on. Glue that down and voila, and you have another card. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. Which do you prefer, the pink background or the berry burst background? Thanks for watching, and if you like it, do give me a thumbs up, subscribe or share on Facebook, and my grateful thanks if you do. Don't forget, if you're watching from YouTube, you'll find the list of supplies I use below this video in the Show More section with direct links to my online store. They'll also be listed here on my blog.stampwithelaine.com. You can find me on Pinterest, Facebook or Instagram. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye!